momentum. We're getting
stoking the fire. Adrenaline is overloading. Hit the mat like a fighter. They never let up, never throwing, giving to their desires. No, they keep working on their focus.
Your home for combat sports. This is Keep It in the Ring. We're on YouTube. Stream Punk Entertainment presents Keep It in the Ring. We're also on my YouTube channel, Rich Mancuso. Like, comment, and subscribe, folks. Really appreciate that. I'm Rich Mancuso. That's Richard Pearson. Welcome in once again this week. Social media, scroll across the bottom of the screen where you could reach me anytime you want. Twitter, which is now X, Ring786, Rich Mancuso. Facebook.com, Rich Mancuso. Folks, I want to hear from you. Thanks for your support. We appreciate the momentum going on with the show every week. Richard, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. I'm doing real good.
Yeah, you
right
look
now.
a little tired. You look a little tired. You look like a haggard fighter.
It's a lot of traveling for me right now.
Yeah, I understand you're doing some traveling. Yeah,
I'm trying to get the good life like you. Kick my
good
feet
life. I'm getting older, and I've been suffering from some type of winter blahs or something this week. I don't know, but a lot of people got it, but I'll be fine. Fact of the week, too. You ready for that later?
I thought you were about to hit me with it right now. I was about to say, you really not liking me this week.
It's not trivia. It's fact of the week. Give it to you later. Bottom of the hour. Carlos Venegas, a exciting young bantamweight from the New York City area up Westchester County, fighting this weekend. I mean, Mohegan Sun CES show continues his career, coming off of his first loss of his career. We'll have him on bottom of the hour. We'll talk to Carlos, go over his fight coming up this weekend, Saturday at Mohegan Sun. Rich, let's get to it. Boxing season's officially here. It's WrestleMania season. That's here. Combat sports, even with the MMA, that's always going on. So we've got fights being signed the last few days, more and more still to come. But let's review a big fight that happened this past weekend on the Zone. Golden Boy presented their top 168 prospect, Jaime Munguia, at 168, round TKO. Devastating punch. John Ryder, who went in there once with Canelo Alvarez last year, went down. And Munguia shows his power again. Let's put up the punch stats and show you what he did. He averaged 52 punches thrown. 34% of them were body punches. The big round in round 2, where he knocked Ryder down, and in round 4, and then did it again in round 9 when his corner stopped the fight. Rich, you look at those stats and you see a major puncher in the competitive division of 168 where Canelo Alvarez has all the titles.
Yeah, I said last week, I told you how this fight was going to go. I was maybe 99.9% right. I said they shouldn't go past 8 because of the punch output that, the guy would put out there. I didn't see this fight going past 8. I was off by a few seconds, I guess, because it made it to the 9th round. But even without the, with the CompuBox or, the punch stats, the world should have already saw what was coming. You had one fighter who's busy with a, got a good punch, and he's a good pressure fighter. And the other one, he looks at one punch and he's done. So we got it into the 9th. Yeah.
I did not think it would go that long, but though John Ryder is a tough competitor, Eddie Hearn out of the UK is his promoter and manager, and John Ryder, of course, showed that he was a warrior with Canelo Alvarez, went the route, but against Munguia, he couldn't do it because this guy's got a powerful punch from all ends, the right. And again, he comes in close, he fights in close, and he's got great speed and footwork. An exciting fighter that boxing loves that.
Cool. So it's not that the guy was able to go as long as he did with Canelo. It's the fact that Canelo he has some type of pop inside of his punches, but Canelo doesn't. He's not a high volume puncher.
No, he goes to the body. He goes to the body.
Yeah, so he's not a high volume puncher, and since he's not applying that kind of pressure, his opponents they're allowed safety mechanisms where they could breathe, they could take a round off, they could step away. They're almost safe inside of there. But the way Mugabe is coming, he's He's coming with assault rifles, nonstop shooting. It's different. It's a big difference between, a 12-gauge shotgun and an AR-15.
Richard, you got to like, though, his impressive style. He's nonstop. He's powerful. He never shows any loss of stamina. He'll hang in there to the end. And now he calls out Canelo Alvarez after this latest win. This is a division, and we're going to put up the names now. Possible opponents for Jaime Munguia. I botch his name up all the time. I botch names up, but this guy, I can never get it right. Munguia. That's it. A Mexican warrior as he is. Let's take a look at this list. He calls out Canelo Alvarez. Oscar De La Hoya would love, his promoter at Golden Boy would love to see that fight. Two Mexicans going at it, possibly as soon as Cinco de Mayo weekend in May or in September, because Canelo only fights twice a year, either beginning of May or at some point in September. But then you look down this list, and it's an impressive list at 168, including my favorite, David Benavidez, who has the mandatory, supposedly, by the alphabet sanctioning organizations to get Canelo next. There is talk in this list, and that young man, number 2 on the list, Mabili, he is a powerful puncher. He won his last fight a few weeks ago. David Morrell, young, aggressive. He's in that top 10. Khalid Plant has had his shot, all right? Lost to Canelo. Diego Pacheco, young and upcoming, powerful puncher. He's got it all right? I don't know much about the number 6, but I pronounce his name for me, Rich. As a boxing guy, and I'm having a hard time with. Well, anyway, Eric, I don't know much about. Jaime's there, though, is ranked 7th as a top 10 in the list. That might go up. Edgar Berlanger is the other one name that's come up. That's a fight. Also, he with Matchroom Boxing, and De La Hoya and Eddie Hearn at Matchroom are working together. They've made that known. They could put Berlanger in there with Jaime, but Canelo has to fight David Benavidez, an anticipated fight. They've been talking about this for a couple of years. They got to get it done. But out of that list, who would you like to see Jaime fight next?
I would like to see him fight David Benavidez. Like, I don't think Canelo doesn't deserve to get the opportunity to be inside the ring with either one of these guys before these guys are inside the ring with each other. Canelo's a prima donna, with a tampon up his ass. That's Canelo's problem. I think, these two young men who's coming out here, putting the punch outputs out, looking to put people to sleep, looking and caring about how the fans feel. They're coming out here to actually put on a show. Canelo is not doing that. Right now, I feel like, these guys, Canelo's been at the top for some reason. I don't know why, but he's been at the top, and I already know what will happen if they get inside of the ring with them. If they do not knock Canelo out, Canelo's hand will be raised at the end of the night.
I would love to see Canelo fight Jaime Munguia, but I don't think that fight's happening, and I don't think that's who he's going to get.
But before we see Canelo fight anybody, shouldn't we see him get his vengeance on being beat and embarrassed by Bivol? We shouldn't be talking about Canelo fight.
Well, Bivol and Artur Benavides, who we've talked about on the program, they're fighting for the unified light heavyweight title at some point this year. So Canelo's not going to get Bivol anytime soon. No, right now, Rich, you got to look at these names on the board, and the names on the board. I got to feel that the next opponent for Jaime Munguia will be Edgar Berlanger, because that's Eddie Hearn's guy. That's Oscar De La Hoya's guy is Munguia. And, Berlanger's a puncher, but he started out his career with 16 consecutive knockouts going after a record and then fell apart. And then he was with Top Rank. He's now with Matchroom. So that's still an intriguing fight to me. But Canelo's not going to fight Jaime Munguia right now. The fight is going to be, I still believe they're going to do it this year. If it's not in May and September, At 168 to unify will be David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez. That's what I think.
I mean, that would be a wise choice for Canelo finally, but
well, it's not only a wise choice, Rich, it's a mandatory. He's been designated as the mandatory challenger to Canelo Alvarez's titles. So be with the sanctioning organizations, but these alphabet soup groups could do anything they want.
No, you saw them do that. You already watched them do this with Alvarez, where when he went up to fight Bivol, they didn't strip him of none of his titles. They didn't strip him from none of his titles.
No.
Just so when he went back down, win, lose, or draw, he can have the unification bout against Charlo. Now, when Charlo moved up to fight Canelo, what they did the minute the bell rung, they took the belt from Charlo. This is how the sanction is played. So I'm not going to put any type of belief inside of Canelo's going to fight anybody besides someone he knows for a fact he could walk out the ring with the W.
Well, you know what? Canelo commands who he wants to fight anyway. He's like the face of boxing still to many. And according to the promoters, and the sanctioning groups, he'll pick who he wants. He chooses when he wants to fight. He makes the money. That's what it's about.
I wouldn't say he's the face of boxing. I believe that, the smaller guys from the 135 to 140, 147 as the face, like the Tank Davis, Devin Haney. If you go anywhere on social media platforms, you see all these, what they consider young guys, smaller guys. They're the ones who's making the noise. We don't see Canelo name. You only see Canelo name on a holiday.
Rich, I will say this. Canelo may not be top pound for pound right now, but he's still the face of the sport. No, to me. That's my opinion. You got your opinion. That's what this is all about. We keep it in the ring, don't we?
Canelo?
Yeah. Fans, what do you think? Comment, like, and subscribe here on YouTube. Keep it in the ring, Stream Punk Entertainment, or my YouTube channel, Rich Mancuso. Let's move along. Big fight this weekend. We are in the boxing season, as I said, and it's a big fight from this standard because you got a guy from the Bronx, New York. I've known him a long time since he was an amateur and won numerous New York City Golden Glove titles. Peter Dobson finally getting his opportunity, and Conor Benn, well known, been in there with Canelo at 147. They're going to go out Saturday from Las Vegas, and that's on the Zone. Interesting fight because Peter Dobson's getting the biggest payday of his career. He's been a journeyman he's been pitching for fights. He said to Conor Benn the other day, he will dispose of him. He said, Peter Dobson said he's the best in the world. Peter Dobson said that Ben is not on his level. And he says he sees him talking and blah, blah, blah. And he says he'll see him talking some more when his hands are raised Saturday night in Las Vegas. And, these two are not very friendly, of course, going into a fight like this with no title at stake, but a lot on the board for both of them. Peter Dobson has struggled to get the fight he wanted. He's a local kid from the Bronx, New York. He's made some money in the sport. Not big money, but enough to be comfortable. He now lives down in Florida somewhere, I think in the West Palm Beach area. And good for him. Provided for his family. Good for him. Is he in the caliber of a Conor Benn? Well, as much as I love Peter and I know him a long time, I have to disagree. I do not think he's in his class. And I hope he could stay with it and make it a fight. He's a heavy underdog. Now it's up to Peter Dobson to say, I fooled everyone, including me, Rich Mancuso.
Well, Conor Benn's on fire right now. I really like his style. I love the style that he uses. He has like a very good, has an old school, style from Puerto Rico. He good upper body movement. He's very agile. He's coming to make a statement, and this is Pete's probably biggest payday. So we all.
It is.
If you're going to bet on an underdog, to all the fans out there, if you're going to bet to the underdog, we have to hope and pray that the underdog is betting on himself as well, and not already looking at the biggest payday and saying I'm going to buy the new F-150. He got to come in there looking to be an upset king. And if he's not coming in there with the attitude, it's going to be an easy night. It's going to be
he has the attitude that he's going to win. As he even said that I see him taking a knee and his hands will be raised. Peter Dobson, they'll just say this.
But it's going to be. It's going to be.
I'm going to be making a lot of money. I want to buy mansions and not be on the camera. He's very nervous. It's obvious. I watched him do some pre-fight stuff. Matchroom in the Zone did a nice little half-hour prelude to the fight on streaming, and Dobson looked a little nervous. He's in great shape. I've never seen him in better shape, and he's at 147. I wish him the best of luck, but I don't think he's going to do it.
Man, it's gonna be tough for the simple fact that you have two type of trees inside of the ring right now. You have Conor Ben who moves as a palm tree. He can blow with the storm. He's moving. He's got the good lateral movement, upper body movement, and you got Dobson who's standing there, like an evergreen. When the hurricanes come, they break in half. They fall on your house, on top of your cars. You gotta have real good insurance when you're betting on a Dobson.
Peter Dobson finally getting his payday. He deserved it. He's been up and down the ladder for a long time. He's still relatively young. He's in his early 30s. Finally getting what I feel he deserves. And he went after Eddie Hearn, and he went after this promoter, that promoter. Finally, Eddie Hearn said, let's do it. And now, in Las Vegas, Saturday night, on the Zone, Peter Dobson from the Bronx, New York, has an opportunity of his lifetime against Conor Ben, a world-renowned fighter who's been ranked at 147. All right. Other news, and this took everyone off by surprise. In fact, you alerted to me, and I said, just a rumor, Rich, but it wasn't. Because officially on X, formerly Twitter, Shakur Stevenson, one of the top rising stars in the sport with Top Rank Boxing, who's made an awful lot of money, said this. What did he say, Rich?
This is like you got to blow this up for me. I'm officially retiring from the sport.
I thought I was the one with the bad eyes.
I'll be in the gym forever, perfecting my craft and helping the next generation become great and chase their dreams. But I ain't fucking with this weak boxing game.
He says he's done. He's retired from the sport. Where have I heard this before? Teofimo Lopez. And now Lopez is a champion again in 140, fighting Jermaine Ortiz next weekend in Las Vegas for his title. But Shakur Stevenson, this threw me off, threw a lot of people in boxing off, and I don't think it stands. It's not a publicity stunt. I just think Shakur's frustrated, not getting what he wants. 135, 140, whatever it be. Everyone wants to see him fight Gervonta Davis, and I still think that might happen because I don't think Shakur Stevenson is retiring. I don't buy it.
No, I mean, nobody should buy it. And, every week we have a fact of the week, and I'm not the greatest when it comes to history, but one thing I do know is you don't know this from Teofimo. You know this from Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard pulled the I'm retiring card back after he lost to, Roberto Duran. And he did it in a strategic way so that Roberto Duran would go, okay, I don't have to fight, do this rematch. Also, the public would want Sugar Ray Leonard. He wanted to see how much the public was behind him. That's what Sugar Ray did this for, to see, is it worth me to rematch this guy? And that's why he did it. Now, Shakur Stevenson, he's not a household name. Yes, he went to the Olympics like many professional fighters, Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya, but he's not a household name. So now if this is a full-blown publicity stunt. That's what it is. The fans are not going to say, come back, Shakur, because who do they really want to see Shakur fight? If he's going to be a crybaby, he's just going to cry himself in his own household. And
look, young enough. What is he, 22, 23 years old?
Still a baby. He made no money in the sport. Who retires without making money?
Yeah. Well, his last fight was very disappointing. He didn't throw any punches. In fact, I think he might have set the record for least punches thrown in a fight. But
I did that.
But regardless, he's young and he is not retiring. But that was a major story this week. Rich, look at this one coming up. A lot of fights are being announced. There's so many of them, including George Kambosos Jr. against Vasily Lomachenko. And that's going to take place in in Gambosa's backyard in Perth, Australia. And that fight will be coming up. What's the date on that? I didn't remember the date, but it's you still got time for it. But Top Rank and Gambosis was in Australia, Lomachenko in Los Angeles. Lou DiBella is a promoter of Gambosis Jr. They announced it. Major fight, 2 former champions, a lot of implications. One of them is going to be vying for the championship again. One of them won't be. And this is going to be a major fight on the calendar coming up.
Yeah, what I'm not liking about, the Lomachenko, era right now is that, this man came out and he inspired so many young fighters. He even introduced a beautiful style to the sport, his footwork, his agility, his movement, everything. And now it's just, I just see it's as if boxing is trying to destroy this man for being great and putting a lot of fighters in their place. I think, he shouldn't be fighting in somebody else's backyard. He already got, a bad decision against a Devin Haney. I just think this is wrong the way that they're using him right now in this sport. I don't know if it's financially he's messed up, but I don't like the way his career is going.
Well, they're going to make a lot of money. It's May 11th in Perth, Australia, and it's for the IBF vacant lightweight title. That's where this stands. So either one of them will go on, one of them will not. I can't give you a pick right now where that's going, but it's a major fight on the calendar in May, as well as this card officially announced on Wednesday. It'll be in Las Vegas, and it'll be, at least we're not getting fights in Saudi Arabia like that, but the PBC debuts on Amazon Prime. Coming up March 30th, Las Vegas, on pay-per-view. And who resurfaces again is talked about, Keith Thurman, the former welterweight champion at 147. And Keith Thurman and Tszyu will be fighting, though, for Tszyu's 54-pound title. No, it's not a title fight, but he's fighting at 154 to get to that title, hold by Charlo. Tszyu and Thurman spoke a lot of crap at the press conference. Tszyu then countered, and he fought 3 times last year, Tszyu, and, the son of a former legendary champion over there in Australia as well. Major fight for Keith Thurman. He has a lot to prove now from he was a great champion, 147. Took the time off, sustained a lot of adversity. Now fighting at 154. Good fight coming up. And also on that card, one of your favorites, one of mine, Rolando Romero, Isaac Pitbull Cruz, 12 rounds, Romero's WBA junior welterweight title up for grabs. Rich, this is an intriguing fight to me.
Rich, you got to stop saying somebody's my favorite.
Why?
Who do I like? I do not listen. I'm not.
I have favorites in the sport. Romero's one of mine.
You got to stop blaming this on me. No, I am not rocking with Rolly. I am not rocking with Pitbull. This is going to be. This This fight is just going to be a really good bar fight.
It will be.
It's going to be a really good bar fight.
Thurman Tszyu is what we call, as you know, in the business, styles make fights. This one could be just as intriguing because Pitbull took Gervonta Davis to the limit, and Romero is unpredictable.
No, this is what I'm saying. It's a really good bar fight. Heineken versus Corona. Who you got?
I don't drink either, so I can't tell you.
But you could watch. You could watch them clash.
Major PBC card debuting on Amazon Prime at pay-per-view. There are ways you could order it. They go on their websites. They tell you that. Erislandy Lara and Michael Zarafa are also on the card. Champion Lara, the WBA middleweight title, and the human, what do they call him? The Towering Inferno, who sustained his first loss last year at junior middleweight, Sebastian Fedora. He's fighting for the vacant WBC junior middleweight title on the same card. Load and stack for pay-per-view as PBC debuts on Amazon Prime. The streaming networks take over. Also, Rich, bear with me. On top of it all here, Eddie Hearn has said he's unveiling a 168-pound tournament that also plays into role with Oscar De La Hoya. And they're going to be doing a series of fights in the coming months. And that could lead up to where Jaime again goes, or Canelo. And Oscar Valdez, Top Rank, going to be fighting pretty soon. Let me get the details up on that. So much news coming out. This is fight season, as I said, and a very interesting time to be a boxing fan. Don't you agree?
Yes, it's always a good time. It's always a good time to be a boxing fan.
You know, Top Rank signing fights left and right, finding cards up. And now you have Sebastian Ventura back, who I like. Oscar Valdez, Top Rank. And there was another fight over the weekend that was really interesting. And take a look at the Lewis Crocker, 5th round knockout over Jose Felix. Now, Crocker, the taller guy, Crocker, not known really much here because he fights in the UK with Eddie Hearn. Another interesting fight that was on the zone this weekend. And Crocker right now, he's in line for some better business and more paydays. And Eddie Hearn says we might bring him into the States to show the American people and to show everyone what this guy's all about. So he can punch. He outpunched his opponent, and so would Felix. Felix was a good fight there too. Rich, did you see this? I got to put this up.
Show it to me.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. keeps doing everything he can in Vegas to talk to fighters, and we know he's definitely got into Ryan Garcia's ear because they're running together on the streets of Vegas. But now Floyd Mayweather, and probably the top fighter in the world today, Terrence Bud Crawford, is moving up to 154 when he decides to fight again.
Yeah.
Scott Cherson, our great guy behind the scenes with Spring Punk Entertainment, put that image up. Gotta load of this. You gotta love this. Mayweather and Crawford, they're roller skating together. What do you make of this tandem?
They on the roll. I mean, they just sliding through right now. He runs with them. You know, he runs with Ryan.
Well, he runs with Ryan Garcia, but he skates with Bud Crawford.
I told you this. You know, a few weeks ago. Floyd is a businessman. The Errol Spence rematch is about to fall through. So, you know, Floyd is pulling people in. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's business. And Crawford is on his way out the door. Crawford is ready. He's looking for the retirement. You know, so he's gonna go to where we believe could give him the big paydays at.
I don't know who he's gonna fight next. At 154 is probably where he wants to go. He might even go higher than that. I don't know. I find the two of them, Mayweather and Crawford, not so much that they're roller skating together, but intriguing. What are they talking about? I know what Mayweather talked to Ryan Garcia about.
This is what they're talking about, right? It's PR. Look, it's PR right now, right? Social media is everything. And, you know, one of the people that the world will tune in for a pay-per-view fight, even though Charlo looked like trash and everybody know Charlo's not on a Crawford level, just because they have this beef amongst each other. Because most of these fighters they're weird now. Fighters are friends now. It's weird. Like, fighters.
I know.
So now
I know it's weird. They look like they look like that they're bitter enemies leading up to a fight. All the nasty, vicious words, and then when the fight is over, they shake and hug, and they meet either on a roller rink and roller skate, or they jog together.
That's what I'm saying. That's a corporation party. What I'm saying is when Crawford put down Spence, he walked to the corner and he pointed at Charlo and said, "You next." Oh, I'm paying for that fight.
Speaking about Charlo, We'll have news about him next week. Rich, we're running at the bottom of the hour before we bring in Carlos Venegas. I'm anxious to talk to this young man. We got to get to the favorite part of the program. Your favorite part, mine. I know it may not be yours, but it is. It's the fact of the week. Scott Churston put up the fact of the week. It's not the fact till it's up. Remember, it's not trivia. It's a fact. Let's take a crack at it, Rich. Let's see if you get it. And everyone else out there, you know Rocky, a movie, the great boxing name is a great boxing name, Rocky. Except I hate the movie and never liked it, never will. And you know, as a boxing guy, I never once watched a clip of Rocky. Fake. Everyone knows I can't stand Rocky. Adrian. Well, anyway, Rocky's a famous name in the sport. You know, there was Rocky Graziano. There was Rocky Balboa now. But a number one Rocky, who was the number one Rocky with that name in boxing? Fact. Not trivia.
Was it Marciano?
Oh, man, Rich, you got it again. Doing your homework, my friend. Fact of the week again, Scott Churston. Give him a sound of the bell on Keep It in the Ring because our guy, Richard Pearson, for the second time in 3 weeks after the first shot, got the fact of the week.
I see what you're doing to me. I see.
I'm making him too easy. That's what I'm doing to you. Yes, Rocky Marciano, the number one Rock, the retired undefeated heavyweight champion of 49-0, one of the greatest of all time.
You know how I know that Rocky, right?
Yeah.
You know how I know that Rocky? I know that Rocky because Floyd beat his record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he really leveled into that as well. Regardless, this is Keep It in the Ring. I'm Rich Mancuso. That's Richard Pearson. We're getting to the bottom of the hour. We're going to talk to Carlos Venegas. Got a fight coming up this weekend at the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, up there in the tribal village, but a nice place to watch a fight. Talk to Carlos about his career coming up, and encourage you all fans, if you want, get me at my social media at the bottom of the screen. Like, comment, and subscribe here at Keep It in the Ring. I'm Rich Mancuso, Richard Pearson. Back in a moment, folks. Stay with us.
And always stoking the fire. Adrenaline is overloading. Hit the mat like a fighter. They never let up, never throwing, giving to their desires. No, they keep working on their focus.
Your home for combat sports here on YouTube and my channel, Rich Mancuso, presented by String Punk Entertainment. We do it all, boxing, pro wrestling, MMA. I'm Rich Mancuso. That's Richard Pearson. Thanks for all your support and continuing to be with us every week here. And let's talk now with a rising fighter, upcoming star. I've known him. He's around. He's young enough to be. 26-year-old Carlos Venegas, 6-1-0, 5 knockouts, fighting Saturday night, the Mohegan Sun on a CES boxing promoted card, and he's fighting a guy named Jackson Webb, who's 2-1 at the Mohegan Sun. Now, Carlos, I have not talked to you in a while. How you doing, my friend?
Good to be back. It's been a long 9 months, can I say. Can't wait to step in the ring again and put on for the
I know. You're in the gym there, Mainstream Gym in New Rochelle, your training home. And how you feeling? Oh, you're a Champs, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Well, some of the Main Street guys do go up there, though, I know. But you're a Champs up in New Rochelle, New York. A nice gym. If you're ever in the area, go up there and visit. Carlos, how you feeling? And your career, you suffered a loss last year, the first of your career. You took some time off, and then you've been vying some fights, but you're in this promotional deal with CES, from what I understand?
Yeah, so I got 2 fights left with them, one after this one. But we're looking to stay busy, man. It's gonna be a busy year for me, and I'm just looking to keep it rolling after this one. I didn't think I lost that last fight, but you can't cry over spilled milk, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, just keep it.
You're at bantamweight. You're at bantamweight, which you're one of the little guys that makes you an exciting fighter. Richard and I can vouch for that because we called one of your fights on a Novella boxing show last year, and so we saw how exciting you can be. Tell us about that loss last year. I don't even remember it.
Yes. So there's a lot leading into it. It's my first big fight at Mohegan Sun. I sold a lot of tickets, and then leading up to the fight, 3 days before the fight. I'm saying this for the first time. I don't make excuses. I was violently sick. I couldn't eat. Everything I was eating was coming out of me. So I had 3 days where I just did not eat. I went into the fight with like 109 fever. I couldn't even breathe in between the rounds. Mind you, I still thought I won the fight, but it's the judges didn't see my way. Again, it's the first time I'm even saying this. I don't make excuses. The other guy was a better guy that night, I guess. I still think I won, but it is what it is, you know. But now,
yeah, you had a bad decision. I don't remember the opponent, but I do remember looking at the fight, and yeah, I felt you won it. Tight fight, but I felt you won it. I thought you got it by a round.
It was definitely a close fight, but I saw myself winning like easy.
What was the decision? What was it? Split, majority, unanimous? What was it?
Split.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was landing the more effective shots. I was walking them down. It is what it is, you know. It's a learning lesson. So now it's not going to the judges anymore.
Hey, get over the loss. Richard Pearson had a couple of them, and he got over them as well. No dig at you, Rich. I know how good you were. You just had one of those hard luck fighters. You know, you went through it on the B side. Carlos is trying to get to that A side, but it's been a struggle because getting a promoter and the right connections. That's how this business is. Do you have any advice for him?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you. First off, do you have a manager?
Yeah, I got one of the best managers and coaches I could ask for. It's just, you know, it hasn't been going our way lately.
So you have a manager. You have something that I didn't have, which is also social media. You know, I see you in the gym, which makes you like let me know you're a determined fighter. You know, what you have to do is you have to understand. One of the reasons you lost, you said you were sick. You know, I don't know what you was diagnosed with. You know, I don't know if you couldn't put nothing down, keep nothing down in your stomach from cutting weight. But if that was one of the problems, just never cut weight again. That's what's happening with most fighters. Most fighters, you know, the week of the fight, they're cutting a lot of weight, and that's why they can't put it in their stomach and they regurgitate everything. You know, and that's why you end up with the fevers from dehydration. So since you got you a manager and you're a dedicated fighter, you know, you just, you know, be disciplined on your food intake and keep the training going. You should never lose again.
It's not going to happen again for sure. You nip that in the butt.
Carlos, what have you been working on to improve this fight from the last?
Just the conditioning overall. Like, I mean, again, I was very sick, but I'm going to be able to go 12 rounds if I have to. The sparring's been up, everything's been up on this fight, so I'm looking to hop out of the lightning out of the bottom for this fight. Get in there and just fucking wreck him. I don't think anything he's coming with, I'm better in all aspects.
Are you comfortable at bantamweight?
Yeah, so actually this fight, I took it a little heavier because we weren't getting anybody at 118. We took it at 126.
What do you know? Yeah, Rich.
126.
How
do you feel at 126?
Feel strong. Feel real strong. I mean, I spar guys bigger than me. You know, I'm a smaller guy, but I'm always sparring guys like 38, 40. And
I asked you this because I wouldn't want you to experience what you experienced again. You know, you know, you're aging now, your body's maturing, you know, and trying to keep that same weight that you always had. So, you know, some of us, we just outgrow our weight. You know, I started fighting at 160. I was fighting at 160 and I had to go up to 160. You know, can I make 160? I can still make 160, but I will be very lethargic. So I think at the weight that you're comfortable at.
The being sick, like I said, this first time maybe speaking about it. It was just a freak accident. I got sick fight week. It was like a flu or something, and I just couldn't shake it. Too much tickets and stuff was involved to, you know, pull out that late. And like I said, it's a lesson. I'll never fight again sick, and I don't think I'll ever lose again with the determination I have right now.
All right.
Carlos Venegas is an exciting young bantamweight out of the New York area, New Rochelle, Portchester, New York. Fighting this Saturday up at the Mohegan Sun Arena, CES boxing promotion. And is that going to be streamed on a BX TV? Is that what it is? BXN boxing?
I believe so. I think CES has their own streaming network. I'm going to post a link on my Instagram bio.
Okay.
After the weigh-ins.
Right. All right. So you're in the gym here right now, but we have a couple of images of you I think one from in the gym. Scott, can you put that up? I believe it's what I want to identify. Who do we? There you are. Was that your last fight? I pulled that out of a phone.
That is the last fight. Yeah.
That is, and there you nailed it with a nice left, right?
That was the entire fight, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But I just, like I said, maybe I was showboating a little more than I should have. Again, a mental note that won't happen again, and we're gonna come back a lot stronger.
Yet the judges didn't give you the decision, and it looked like they should have based on that punch to the face.
Yeah.
That's my punch of the week.
This is a fight where you sick?
This is the fight that I was sick. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, as sick as I was, I wish I could show you guys the tape and you guys be the judge of it.
Wow.
Well, Rich, if you remember when we called his fight last year on an Abella boxing promotion in New Jersey, if you remember, and I remember it well because I was there with you ringside doing the commentary, and we were impressed with his skills. We were impressed with Carlos' skills and his ability to get away from a punch was fabulous, and how he could throw a punch. How good he was, but some obstacles happened, and getting other fights were difficult. Opponents fall out. That happened to him. They didn't make weight or whatever. He's a great ticket seller too, very popular. But that's his business, and especially when you're upcoming, it's a struggle.
Yeah, that is true. We got to stay relevant, always pushing those tickets, and like I said, you got to be entertaining, man. And it was too late to pull out for the fight, and again, it's a lesson learned, and it will never happen again, man. That's lighting a fire in my ass. I need to run an extra couple miles. I keep it in my head. You lost already. That's not going to happen. So,
all right, we have an image of you in the gym there up at Champ's Gym, and who was in this photo with you? Let's take a look at it, Scott. Put it up. You're in the Champ's Gym now. Who is this with you?
That is my coach Ryan O'Leary and one of my sparring partners, David Reyes. He's a top New York amateur at 126 or 128, I believe.
You spar with guys your weight or a little heavier?
Always a little heavier. Again, I'm fighting at 118. Not a lot of guys like that around this area.
All right, Carlos, not going to keep you much longer. I know it's been a long day because you also work still full time. And I know that takes a lot out of you. And congratulations on your engagement. You're going to get married soon, next year?
Yeah, 2025. Thank you, Rich.
Congratulations, my friend. Rich has been through it. I've been through it, so we know what it's like. But you've got a nice gal. I've met her.
Thank you.
Carlos, how do fans reach you?
You get me on Instagram at cvenegas914 and then Carlos Venegas on Facebook.
And I'm going to ask you. I ask every fighter this. I've even asked Rich over the years. How do you look at the fight going?
How do you what?
How do you see the outcome? I know you're going to say you're going to win, but how?
Of my fight?
Yeah.
I see me walking this kid down till he can't break, and with pressure breaks pipes, and I'm going to take his ribs home with me. That's what's going to happen for this fight.
I like that.
Rich, any final questions or thoughts to Carlos Venegas?
Yeah, I just how many rounds are you doing before we get these baby back ribs?
I would like to do it under 3. I mean, 1.5 would be my ideal thing, but if I could do it in 1.
What's the schedule for? What's the schedule
for? It's scheduled for 6.
Okay.
Right. I asked that. Good point.
So I'm saying 5th round baby back ribs, no mashed potatoes.
I'm bringing them Arkansas ribs back to New York.
And how long before you think you could be in 10 rounders, Carlos?
I'm sparring almost 11 rounds now, so it's just when the next step comes. The last 3 fights have been 6 rounds, I believe. So I'm comfortable fighting later in the round. So I guess the next one will take 8, and then after that will take 10. See where we're at.
Well, needless to say, from all of us here at Keep It in the Ring, good luck to you, my friend. Saturday night at the Mohegan Sun Arena up in Connecticut there, and CES Boxing. You're on the undercard, and you're looking for that win after a loss, your first one last year. Carlos Venegas. Yeah, well, we'll be. I'm calling the MMA fight Saturday night, but I will make sure I'll have somebody update me what's going on. If not, you've promised to text me what's going on, right?
You got it,
Afterwards.
Rich. After I break the ribs, I'll shoot you the text.
There you go. Carlos Venegas, thank you, my friend. Good luck, champ. Talk to you again soon.
Have a good one, guys.
Thank you. Since the first day I met that young man last year, Rich, I got Richard Pearson, my co-host. I just something about him, his persona, and he just brings out the best in him. Yeah. And in the ring as well. He got a bad break in that first loss. I thought he won that fight.
Yeah, but you know what it is. I mean, he didn't look like himself, and now we understand why he didn't look like himself. He was sick.
Right. Right.
So when you come out there and you're not looking like how the world is used to seeing you, represent yourself inside that ring, they call you off, and as you see, he lost split decision, so that's a tough call. That means it could have.
Yeah, but as I call them, 3 blind mice at ringside, the judges. And you know what, Rich? There's got to be better judging. There has to be. That's another issue we'll get into and tackle that on my attempts in the weeks to come. Tackle the issues. That's one of them that's making boxing look bad time and time again. Get a judge, professional fight judge or a formal one, to tell us what goes into judging a fight. I know I don't want to be a judge. A boxing judge, to me, very subjective, one of the worst jobs to have. I don't want that. I'll never do it. Did you ever think about being a boxing judge, Richard?
I think being a boxing judge is easy. I mean, after the bell rings, the fight happens. Then the bell rings again. Somebody go back to the corner if they made it out the round, right?
Well, so it might be easy for you, but some of these.
Ask yourself, who would you want to be at the end of the round? That's who won the round.
Rich, maybe it looks easy to you, but a lot of these judges, some have been around for years. Some of them are new.
That's because
I don't know sometimes what they're looking at. I have no idea. From three different angles of the ring, and I don't know what they're looking at with some of these awful, disgraceful decisions where fighters, even like young Carlos Venegas, he gets robbed.
Pocket. Some of them looking at their pocket. Some of them looking at the notes that the promoter gave them. That's part of the game. I knocked somebody out in the first round, and the guy was announced as the winner. That's not accidental.
How many fights do you feel that went decision and didn't go your way? Did you feel that you won and didn't get the win?
One.
Okay. Well, yeah, you tended to finish off guys.
Yeah. Just one. Only 2 of my fights went to decision, and it came down that I lost. And one of them was my last fight, and I take my hat off to the kid. Farah Ennis, he won that fight. He won that fight in the first round, and he didn't even know it. I don't respect him as a fighter because he didn't finish me off how I wish he would have. He let me go the whole 10 rounds, and he didn't finish me off like a true warrior. So I don't respect him as a fighter. Derek Superman Finley from Metropolis, Illinois. I beat him, but somehow I lost split decision in his backyard, and we all know that I won that fight. So that's the only fight that I feel as though I actually got robbed was the fight and the Don Mouton fight. When you get hit after the bell and you go down, if they say you got stopped, you got to respect what the referee said. But respect it's protect yourself.
Look, next week I think we're going to pull up your record if you give me the approval and your fights you had in your career and take a look at them and analyze them briefly. I can't put mine up because I fought 4 times. Everyone knows as an amateur, I stunk. I was horrendously putrid, got knocked down the 4th time, got knocked out, don't even remember it. And I said, that's it, goodbye, no more, that's not for me. I'll go into writing and broadcasting. And even at times now I wonder, what am I still doing this stuff?
And you're doing a great job at it, and we need you. We need you to do this. Look, you got me doing this.
I know.
You like talking about boxing, and you got me doing it.
Well, I hope Keep It in the Ring is around a long time. That's where you come in, folks. We need your support. Like, comment, and subscribe here on YouTube, Stringlong Entertainment. Also, my YouTube channel, Rich Mancuso. We're going to wrap this up. We're going to talk briefly pro wrestling and talk about Danger Zone MMA amateur event again this weekend. We've been telling you about that the last 3 weeks. Well, the Royal Rumble is history. We're in WrestleMania season, and Triple H has to be smiling, except some major components of WrestleMania are going to change because CM Punk is injured. He's out. Seth Rollins is injured. He's out. And we also see the investigation with Vince McMahon might end up getting indicted for everything. Everything has changed in WWE land, including no Brock Lesnar. The latest report, Lesnar involved with Vince McMahon. That's the allegations with this investigation about sexual exploitation or whatever within WWE headquarters. And Brock Lesnar is supposed to come back. He was always been Vince McMahon's best. All dirt, the old wood from Vince McMahon is being told to. They're not going to be around no more. Not with the TKO Endeavor merger with WWE. But the Royal Rumble was a success. Returnees. And we saw some, I thought it was a good pay-per-view premium live event leading to WrestleMania. Even Bayley, who won the Women's Royal Rumble, now has a choice. Who does she select? Who does she pick up? Who is she going to wrestle at WrestleMania for the championship? Is it Io Sky, the champion, at SmackDown when she's a part of Damage Control, or is it going to be Mama, as she's called in WWE, as part of Judgment Day? I'm not going to mention the name. I don't like her. That's why I don't like her attitude. It's pro wrestling, Rich. You got to be kidding me, right? But the Royal Rumble was a success, leading on the road to WrestleMania, which is going to be a huge success for 2 nights in Philadelphia at the beginning of April. All right. And, Rich, I don't know if you heard your favorite guy, Bill Haney, mouthing off again.
Why you keep putting these people on me? I don't like Bill Haney. I think he needs to, take a step away from his son and stop. His son is like Kermit the Muppet, and he's the puppet master. He got his whole.
He does all the talk. He does all the talk. He does all the talking for his son.
I don't respect men that treat their sons that way. He's living through his son. He's using his son. His son is his slave. He's going to put his son in a situation that he's not going to be able to get his son out of. You understand? He's talking too much bull crap.
Too much. I know. He went after De La Hoya. I don't know. I cannot keep track of Bill Haney. Every time he mouths off.
This is one thing I did respect about Devin Haney. Devin Haney is not a shit talker. He does not talk trash. He's not about building up the hype, but his father has been pushing it, and now he's trying to. You understand? This is why now you look at Devin Haney, he's walking around with 1985 baggy jeans and supersized boots on. You understand? Come on. His father is ruining his kid. So now, by the time this kid turned 35 years old, he's not going to understand what it is to be a man. I don't stop putting these people on me. I don't like Mr. Haney.
Well, why doesn't he just go roller skate with Floyd Mayweather?
Because the boots. You see the boots they wear. He can't put skates on no feet.
On that note, let's conclude with Danger Zone. Danger Zone 2, MMA amateur event. We've been talking about it. I'll be at cage side calling the fights, 15 of them. Scott Pierce, Scott Churston, and Stream Punk Entertainment, along with Mac Promotions. They are the promoter. Newburgh Armory, Saturday night, 7 p.m. to midnight. Going to be a long night. If you don't have your tickets, you could stream it live. I hope you do. You'll hear me again for 4 hours. I know you'll enjoy what I do. You always do out there. The thing that I like about this, Rich, and I hope you can make it again, is Danger Zone 1. I saw it. Camaraderie, but you got kickboxing, you got the MMA in the cage, some grappling, but you also have this the uprising fighter that wants to become an MMA champion. And you're going to see this again Saturday night on the Mac Promotions MMA event, Danger Zone 2. Scott, how do fans order this if they, and I hope they do, Saturday night?
All right, put me on the spot on that one. That's perfectly fine.
I put everyone on the spot.
The easiest way to do it is if you go to ticketsource.us/dangerzone or click the QR code that you can see in the top right of the poster. Either one will get you there. The price of the tickets are $9.99 for the entire night. However, if you use the promo code of Danger Zone, it'll save an additional $1 off and bring it down to $8.99 for all 4 to 5 hours of fighting for you.
I hope they do order it. I hope to see you all. I'll be at cage side. And it's going to be a great event. I look forward to it. Richard Pearson, Danger Zone 2, a MAC promotion event, Newburgh Armory, Saturday evening, this coming Saturday. Look forward to it. 7 p.m. start, at least going to midnight. It's going to be a long night. On that note, Rich, any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. My final thoughts. I'm always wishing everybody luck. I just want to say one thing. You got me watching this boxing stuff again.
Well, you should be. You're hosting a show with me, and you're a former pro fighter.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you what you influenced me to do. I appreciate it. You listen. Let me say what I'm saying. Right. So now twice a month, I found another network. I believe it's Pro Box TV. It's showing
Wednesday nights. They're always live, free on YouTube. Yes.
Listen, see. I found it. I'm showing you. Look, this is what you got me doing. I'm losing sleep now because of boxing. You got me thinking about boxing again. So if I end up back in that ring, you getting the blame for this.
I like to bring in
all I wanted to do.
Why do you think I call it keep it? I call it keep it in the ring because I want to bring it back into the ring, into the orbit of this great sport, as controversial as it could be, as confusing and as lucrative it could be. It is my passion. I've loved it since I was a kid. I continue to love it. I will to my last breath. It's pro boxing. It's also the pro wrestling and the MMA combat. And we do it all here each week. More next week on Keep It in the Ring here on YouTube and my channel, Rich Mancuso. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you all do that. And we'll be back next week. More to come. We'll review some of the fights and the fights coming up.
My last thoughts is I'm grateful for you pulling me back into it. And
Fans, my social media handles at the bottom of the screen till Richard Pearson finally wakes up and decides to do his. X, formerly Twitter, Ring786, Facebook.com, Rich Mancuso. You can always reach me there. I will get back to you. Like, comment, and subscribe and keep it in the ring. As always, Richard Pearson, I'm Rich Mancuso. Be good to each other. Stay well. And as always, Rich, what do we say?
Keep it in the ring.
Keep it in the ring. Till next week. Thank you, everyone.